Hey, what's up, everyone? Dragging back in with an edition of the Fantasy Commentary. Today we are watching Return to Oz. Now, when you see the Walt Disney logo appear on your screen, that is your cue to start listening to us. We're going to kick things off in 3, 2, 1.
Hello! Welcome to an edition of the Fantasy Commentary. Today we are watching Return to Oz.
Return to Oz in space.
In space. So we have not seen this film.
Nope.
We've been aware of it, but have not seen it.
Maybe you. I knew it was a book. I didn't know it was even a movie. So.
Well, I think this is more or less it's just another kind of cinematic, telling of kind of like the Oz story, so to speak, pulling from I think later books.
Like a soft reboot, but not.
Yeah, again, it's not. I don't think it's meant to be a sequel to the the classic film that everyone knows. It's more or less just another film adaptation from that kind of book world, so to speak.
I like that she's just got chairs on her wall. It's not weird at all. Look at that.
I'm trying to remember this actress'
She
name.
looks real familiar.
The girl or the
The woman. The girl is the fucking girl from The Craft, right?
Yeah, she was in The Craft. She was
That's
in American History X.
So weird to me.
Feruza Bulk or Bulk. I apologize if
I didn't know you just said a word.
I apologize if I'm mispronouncing her
You're
name.
probably butchering it. It's fine.
But yeah, no, she kind of became more famous, I would say, like in the 90s, playing a lot of, more like character roles. She was American History X. The Craft is probably what she's most known for. She was in Island of Dr. Moreau.
Electric healing. Sometimes I get that feeling. I need
Electric healing. See,
electric healing. Just adding, it's fine. What the fuck would electric healing be? I just think of shock therapy. And that's fucked up.
I guess that's what it would be.
That's fucked up.
So, yeah, apparently this film is based predominantly on the marvelous land of Oz.
Oh, okay, they just said it's been 6 months since the tornado. So I guess in this one we're taking it as the first one happened, but she was this age?
I think it's kind of a loose sequel. Again, from what I understand, yeah, because she's much younger than Dorothy was in that film. She's like, Dorothy in that
probably literally half the age.
Yeah, Dorothy was like a grown ass woman in that other movie, but
Toto clearly is not even the same.
I still picture Toto being voiced by Sam Jackson though. We were saying that, remember the commentary for Wizard of Oz?
Oh god, that was so long ago. That was the first one we did.
Sam Jackson or Christian Bale doing the Batman voice was kind of the back and forth.
Yeah.
And like nobody could understand Toto, but like Toto would just be like, "Why is everyone looking at me?" Yeah, from what I understand though, of this film or this kind of iteration of this. Of the kind of the Wizard of Oz story, is that it's a lot darker. The original film had a lot of dark elements, but like with most fantasy stories, their fantasies was very dark back in the day. It was always usually very allegorical, and it was much more grim and cryptic. Because once upon a time, people didn't feel bad about scary kids. That was kind of we always feel like if kids get scared, that's good because you're teaching them important life lessons. Now we kitty glove everything. So I feel like this is kind of a fantasy story that is much darker and meant to be scarier and meant to be more off-putting. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to sanitize it. So while the original Wizard of Oz film had some dark elements,
Well, yeah, the cover of this looks creepy.
Yeah.
It's very Tim Burton-esque.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like this is very much meant to be a... by the way, if you guys hear a noise in the background, that's our automatic cat feeder because we're just bougie like that, so deal with it.
More like we have needy cats.
Yeah, and
It's fine.
I was getting sick and tired of our cats waking me up at 5 in the goddamn morning for food. Anyway, back to our regular scheduled programming. But yeah, no, so from what I've always been told, this film has a lot of dark and almost disturbing imagery. And again, the 80s were kind of famous for having these kind of fantasy films that were marketed to children, but were very dark and didn't pull any punches, and were very much in the tradition of like kind of classic folklore and fairy tales, where they're very grim and cryptic. You know what I mean? And again, now I feel like fantasy has been kind of
Imagination's not allowed. No fun.
I know, right?
Seriously, she looks.
This
so
is a
familiar.
farm. We don't have imagination. We plow fucking fields.
Wow.
Damn. See, right away, I like how this is way more real. Talking about mortgage and financial issues.
Yeah.
It's like, real talk. More of an incentive for her to want to go back to Oz. Like, yeah, there's a lot of adulting right now. I'm hearing things like mortgage and house payments, and I'm not about that. So I'm gonna go back to the land where I kill witches with fucking houses.
So apparently, this is Piper Laurie.
Who? What?
Is that right? The Aunt M.
Oh,
I was looking her up because she looks so familiar.
yeah, I've seen her in.
It says she's Catherine in Twin Peaks. We haven't watched that in so long. I'm trying
I
to
know.
remember who
Well,
that
she's
was.
again. A lot of these films have a lot of like character actors. So if you watch, genre films, you'll kind of recognize see faces. So man, yeah, I recognize
All
her
right.
from something.
Yeah, now I immediately recognize her.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm seeing it. Toto's a good match, though. I mean, I know it's probably the same breed of dog, but it looks...
I thought Toto was more of a charcoal, like dark gray before.
Well, everything was charcoal gray in Kansas in the original film
Listen.
because the film was shot in charcoal gray
Listen.
in that version.
I realize I was thinking of the colorized version that was done after.
They didn't why? That was the whole point of the movie. When you get to Oz, you go like in color, like.
Didn't they? Am I just imagining shit? I don't even know, man.
No, I was gonna say if you made everything in color, that would literally defeat the like that.
Well, when he's in color in Oz.
Yeah, there was no color in the world until The Wizard of Oz. Like, The Wizard of Oz invented color in real life. Prior to that film, everyone was colorblind.
Never mind. It's fine.
I'm just being an asshole.
Population 17. How exciting.
I've never been past that one building before.
Right?
You mean this is a real world? That's not a giant map painting?
Oh no. Is she going to boarding school? Are they offloading Dorothy?
But see, right off the bat, I'm noticing that there's much more emphasis in like the real world here. Like, I mean, bitch, are you for real? No, sorry.
Oh.
That's,
Oh. That's already way darker.
and I'm pretty, and from what I've been seeing too, the way these characters look, the Cowardly Lion, Tin Man, and Scarecrow, they resemble much more how they're depicted in the books. Mm-hmm. Again, so much of what we think of the Wizard of Oz, I mean, that's one thing they're keeping, the ruby slippers, but in the books they weren't ruby; they were like silver. That's something from like the film, but I feel that's one of those things where even if you're pulling more from the books, they're always going to keep the ruby slippers because it's so iconic that I feel like now it's, again, speaking of ambient noise, if you hear thunder in the background, it's because it's storming out. So
Hey, with any luck, maybe we'll get a tornado and we'll go to Oz.
yeah, or not, because in real life when tornadoes hit your house they cause terrible property damage. They don't whisk you away to magical worlds.
Yeah.
In real life, Dorothy really would be crazy.
I'm assuming this is supposed to be like a doctor.
Yeah.
Oh no. What are you gonna do to her? We're gonna shock you until you pass out. Because that's clearly how science and, medicine works.
Well, I mean, from what I understand, this film is less of a juxtaposition of like Oz and the real world, where the real world again was drab and gray and unpleasant, and then Oz, even though there was bad things happening in Oz, it was fun. It was high adventure. This is the story of high adventure. For any of you guys who watched our Conan commentaries, but for understand, Oz is kind of in ruin in this film, and I think where the story of this film, what it's trying to kind of represent is that you can't really escape, the hardships of life. So when she goes back to Oz, Oz is not perfect. Oz is not as wondrous and magical. There's problems there. So the visual of Oz is more impressive than, I guess, our world. But Oz is a world, therefore it has its own set of problems. So it's kind of like, I don't know. From based on what people describe this film to me, I've always kind of took it as almost like the death of almost youthful innocence, because she's got this very kind of idea like it's a magical world. I got to go help my friends, and
God,
people are talking about giving her like shock therapy, basically, to kind of deal with it. It's a much more sobering take on the kind of the story, which I like.
It's so weird that this is a Disney movie because it already feels so dark.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I know
that's the
back
thing,
then,
too.
They wasn't all just happy shit.
Well,
but
this is still pre-Disney Renaissance, and I
Yeah.
know this doesn't really apply because Disney Renaissance refers to like their animated films. But once that happened, they'll
Whoa,
kind of,
I'm digging her outfit. It's
Damn.
badass. Anyway, sorry.
but yeah, like from like Little Mermaid on, kind of the bright, happy-go-lucky, very super cheerful kind of image of Disney kind of became synonymous. But if you look at like Disney, like in the '80s.
Well, back when they had like Touchstone and shit too.
Yeah, they were much dark. I mean, but again, it's ironic because now Disney's they've bought all these different properties like Fox and what have you.
Basically own everything.
Yeah, but they resemble more, honestly, this area of Disney where they can produce things that aren't necessarily Disney proper. They can do darker things, more adult-oriented things.
Looks like she's got lettuce in her hair or on her hat. Am I wrong?
I mean,
Just a little snack instead of having a lunch pack,
maybe she's
just-
vegan and, like, she has to live off the land.
Kansas. Did you see that obnoxious thing they had that said Kansas?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Oh, God. No wonder she goes back to Oz. She's like, I gotta go to my fucking happy place. Getting shipped off.
But see, again, right away, it's a lot, again, because I know we keep comparing to the original film, but you kind of have to, because the Wizard of
Well,
Oz
yeah.
film is just so iconic that you can't avoid it, even though I guess I know this is pulling from, like, the books, and the books technically came first.
So
But still, it's one of those things where, again, the allegories in that film were very kind of more rudimentary and black and white. The mean neighbor, she became the wicked witch. The people working the farm became like the scarecrow. It was very kind of black and white and very clear cut.
Mm-hmm.
This is much more of like, again, this is the reality for this girl.
Yeah, it's already super depressing.
I mean, this would be around the Great Depression, I believe, too.
I mean, they said it was, a couple years off from 1900?
Oh, okay, so that's a little bit before.
Yeah. Oh, no. Is she imagining this girl now, too?
But realistically, when she would come back from Oz and start spouting off all this stuff, that's kind of how... Again, it's very realistic. It's not like, oh, and then she learned to live happily with her family. No, it's like she comes back and starts talking about witches and lions, and they're going to lock her up, basically. I mean, this is a time period where, children were not always treated,
Yeah.
as well. Children were encouraged to grow up real fast. They didn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Adults didn't cherish
Thunder there.
youth.
Thunder here. Yeah, no. They're like, oh, you're 12? Well, even before then, you'd be working in fields.
Well, that's
and
my
shit.
point. So
Whatever you can do.
They would not be trying to foster this kind of childlike sense of wonder in her, and she would essentially be punished for that.
You'll be dead in 15 years. Hurry up.
Yeah, exactly. So right away, this film is kind of presenting a much bleaker, but much, I hate to say it, more realistic
Yeah.
take on kind
I'm
of...
honestly shocked they didn't lock her in.
Because it's Walt Disney, goddammit. They got in
Oh,
trouble.
no.
It's sad. See? This is
Oh.
sad. This is
Yeah.
sad. This is not a... There's no place like home, Dorothy. This is like...
This was you've been kicked out of your home and now you're here. And it's sad.
It's funny because,
That must be pretty cool, though, if you, I'm assuming they didn't have electricity at their place. I didn't actually pay attention. It's like surround sound. We've got surround sound.
I know,
now.
we got thunder in the movie, thunder in real life. And the sound design of this film was way ahead of its time.
Oh, God. This poor girl didn't even feed her. All things considered, she's handling it very well. I'm assuming she's going to be the new Wicked Witch based on her bitchin' outfit.
I know.
I'm living for that outfit.
I gotta say it too. Like, I know.
I love it.
I mean, yeah, I know she's supposed to be bad, but yeah, that whole look is working for me too. Again, it's very gothic. It's very like...
You may not.
She smacks her like, oh shit.
Jesus Christ.
Again, like, this is not... But again, see, this is much more akin with, like, you know, fantasy and fairy tale. Like, it's...
Yeah.
Again, fairy tales were always kind of cautionary tales. That's the thing. And I think, again, that's what's really gotten...
Oh, God.
lost.
I hate it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Look at
no.
this. This is what's... This reminds me of Terminator 2 when Sarah Connor is, like, locked in that insane asylum. So I'm hoping Dorothy, like, breaks off a broom handle and just beats the hell out of these guys.
Jesus.
It's gonna cut to like 10 years later, and Dorothy's gonna be just Linda Hamilton, just doing pull-ups and arm bars, just like rip the hell. Yeah.
Oh, God. Seriously, I just don't understand how they think this worked. Such a lack of understanding.
Yep.
It's so weird, yeah, because obviously, it's like you were saying. I know you're saying it was like with the Renaissance, but yeah, everyone assumes Disney is synonymous with like child, like kid-friendly
Yeah.
stuff now. But like, this movie is so fucking dark already. I mean, I know it was definitely like that back in the day, but damn.
Well, yeah, but see, I like how it's showing the reality of it. Because, again, we look at it now, and again, children are encouraged to dream and believe and be imaginative. But this is a time period where to say this was frowned upon is kind of an understatement. Like, you could be actively punished
Yeah.
for this kind of thing. Like, look at her. All she did was just kind of talk about, which for them, they just assumed was just a dream she probably had. And look what they're doing to her.
Yeah.
Because in this world, there's no room for that kind of thing. You have to, you know, be focused, and you have to grow up as soon as you can.
Oh, it's just some mild screaming. It's fine. I'm sure everything's fine. Quick! So is she real?
I'm not sure.
Because she just kind of appeared in a room earlier, but I guess she could have just gone in. Is this like a Fight Club sort of thing?
Yeah, it is. Is that her Tyler Durden?
Jesus.
That voice, you hear that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's gonna be like an imaginary friend because she doesn't have any real friends in real life.
Which is,
Which
you
is
know,
depressing. Oh shit. I'd get in that river though if it was between staying there and
I mean,
you
yeah.
know.
But oh god, that whole outfit is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, is that girl real or not? I wonder if it could also be kind of like a Sixth Sense kind of thing where
Maybe. God, watch her be somebody that was like there before and had the same thing happen to her that she fucking died, but it's like her spirit helping Dorothy.
you know, I like the art design of this movie a lot. Again, I like very kind of dark and kind of gothic, and it's funny. It's an aesthetic where I know like some people they hate when movies are dark and rainy and bleak looking. I love that. Like the thing I hate the least, I hate blue skies.
Yeah.
I hate blue skies. If you're not gonna have a cloudy sky, do something kind of abstract where you make it different colors, you know, sepia tones. But I just hate straight blue sky.
Is she in the fucking ocean now? What the fuck? She was in Kansas.
I mean, it could be a lake.
A big ass lake. But maybe.
Yeah, no, I've never just like blue skies with white clouds. I fucking hate that. Like to me, it just looks cheap and plain and boring. I like dynamic skies.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the original film too, they did with the matte paintings they had. They made it look very, you know. And again, that film looked incredible for when it came out.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. It's a pretty good looking chicken puppet.
I was just gonna say that is really good. Yeah, no, wow, that is done really well. Holy crap!
I mean, it's clearly just like a weird.
I think it's like animatronic.
Yeah.
God, no, that looks really good. Holy shit! The movement's very natural. I mean, you can tell it's a pup, but still,
Good
like
ass chicken.
that is a good ass chicken.
I'd eat that chicken. Green screen. Matte painting. It's a beautiful matte painting, though.
I know. I like right away too. We're seeing an environment that we didn't. And again, I know it's based on the book, but realistically, when people think of the Wizard of Oz, the visual, they think of the movie. So I like right away how this film is distinguishing itself from its more, you know, iconic predecessor, basically. Yeah, seriously, that is an amazing puppet. Like that is.
I mean, obviously they're cutting back and forth.
Well,
but-
yeah, but that's the thing. It blends very well. Like
Yeah.
just the movement. It doesn't feel like a Muppet. It feels like it feels like a talking chicken. Basically, it's like if you saw a real hen that could talk, that's what it would look like.
So they have to walk on stones. Jesus. Extreme version of the floor is lava. That's gross. It's so weird.
So,
Oh no. It's a lunch tree.
see, I like right away too here, because she's been to Oz and now they're not doing for her. This is kind of just like going home. So I like how she herself now feels like a fixture of this world. Like she feels more. She almost, you can tell from her perspective, she feels more comfortable here than she did in the real world. And can you really blame her considering where she just came from?
Oh God.
Then they did like a like animation over it.
Mm-hmm. I like how the leaves were like little napkins.
Mm. Man, I wish ham sandwiches grew on trees.
I was gonna say, I wish lunch grew on trees.
I know, right?
In general.
That face.
That's cool.
Yes, Lord Vader. Chicken.
That was so cool the way they did that, though.
Well, yeah, no, I like. So I used to love it when because they using like cell animation. That's what I'm trying to say. In like live action was something that was actually done with more frequency this
Well,
time.
that right there looked more like it was stop motion.
Yeah, well, a lot of times they would need to kind of composite something, do something like that, where you could kind of draw. They would use cell animation periodically like that, because you could get a lot of fluidity of movement. Oh man, look at that. She's like, my weapon of choice.
Right?
This is the witch killer.
Right?
Kind of makes you wonder too, like the people of Oz, would this house here be like some kind of exotic artifact to them? Like
I like how she said the Wicked Witch of the East. Oh, it was the East, wasn't it?
yeah,
I
that was the one
forgot.
she killed.
Yeah, listen, I'm dumb. It's been a long time.
And now the Yellow Brick Road is again. I've seen visuals of this, right? Like, yeah, basically Oz is like in a state of disarray.
Mm-hmm.
Just a yellow brick.
You're just gonna leave Belina behind?
I mean, I think discovered is a bit giving too much credit. I mean, it was just kind of there.
All right. Mombi. Is that supposed to be Emerald City?
I think so.
That was sure fast.
I also think I know I know too. One of the reasons why they have to make a lot of things look different is because the iconography from the first film is copywritten. So certain things, again, they can pull from the book, but like anything that was like specifically from the original movie, they couldn't really.
Yikes. Those are some good looking sculptures, though.
Maybe this makes you think of Labyrinth a little bit right here. Again, I love the set design in this film. Again, I like how this is. It's like you get your dream come true. You get to go to a magical world, but it's like you're seeing a magical world after, like,
Yeah.
the apocalypse has happened, kind of thing. It's
The fuck was that? Jesus, scary.
well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like stuff like this. They would never let this be marketed as
Oh,
a kids
God.
movie now.
Why are they decapitated? Where are their heads?
I love this chicken.
Right? Oh, God.
Yeah, when you look at the old artwork and the covers, this is how he looked. Again, they're not relying. Then yeah, everyone's not super anthropomorphic. Again, again, that's the way they had to do it back then. But yeah, no, lion was meant to be a lion. It was. So again, I think if I understand it correctly, this is the most faithful.
Oh, no. I hate it. What the fuck? Oh, no. What the fuck?
This is way more up my alley, by the way.
Right? Oh, God. Okay, that's better. I mean, at least I know there's a person under there.
Yeah, I just love how messed up this is.
That must have been really difficult for them to wheel around on those. What the
Jeez.
fuck? What are we watching? I mean, I like it, but it's fucking weird.
I'm surprised this isn't a sport.
Oh my god, I know, right?
Oh, I love that set right there. That looks really nice. Yeah, no, yeah. This is what I've always heard about this movie: is that it's very dark
How
and
have we
creepy.
never watched it before?
Well, this film doesn't really get talked about a lot. Again,
I know, I've never. Yeah.
it's a film in the Wizard of Oz franchise. So right away, you're gonna get overshadowed by the original.
Why do I hate chicken so much? Jesus.
It's like Wizard of Oz meets Mad Max.
Yeah, right? Oh.
Yeah, no, the art direction of this movie is beautiful. Like, I like how tangible everything feels. Like it feels like a real place. Like the aesthetics of it, it has a certain style that is consistent throughout.
Well, that's just mean.
Does that mean he doesn't have to have rights?
Wow.
Hey, I'm not saying it's. I like it. I'm just saying he does everything but live. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, you look at this and you see how it's covered in. It's got cobweb. It's covered in dust. So, you know, it looks old. But that's again when you watch movies like this, again where everything is a physical prop. That's the thing. None of this stuff is old. They have to make everything look like that. You know, so when you see something like, okay, yeah, we've seen places that are old, abandoned, but it looks that way because of time. You know what I mean? Whereas when you see something like this was made for the day. This is made for the set.
Yeah.
So it's incredible when you see something. That thing's brand freaking new. You know what I mean? But it's incredible when you think like, wow, look how old and run down everything looks, and to think that that's all by design. It's an illusion. Oh.
TikTok. Wait, so is the Scarecrow the one that took over, I wonder, in the book initially?
I'm assuming so. Again, I've always wanted to go back and read The Wizard of Oz because, again, it was just one of those things where... Because I know it's very different from, the film, so...
Well, that's a depressing life. Gotta wait for somebody to...
Yeah, no, like, the effects in this are done so... But then again, it's Walt Disney, so there's a budget, you know what I mean? I'm just looking at it like, man, why doesn't Disney do things like this anymore? Well, they kind of do, because now Disney does Marvel and Fox and all this stuff. But this is like Disney proper. This was even said to be a Walt Disney Pictures. You know what I mean? This wasn't just some offshoot company they owned that made this movie. They made this.
Mm-hmm.
My think works. The next scene, he's like ripping those guys apart limb from limb. He's like just super sure, like, oh my god. Yeah, no, the way he's articulated, it's really good.
Yeah.
Is there somebody in there?
I don't think so. He's too short.
Yeah, but like the movement is really good.
I think he's just an elaborate puppet.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm wondering if they're moving him from under the floor.
That's what I was wondering too.
Because they didn't have digital, wire removal back then. I think Terminator 2 is actually the first one that actually removed wires digitally. So he must be controlled from underneath. I wonder if there's like a...
Oh, unless there's just like a kid or something in there.
Yeah, no, there might be someone in there because...
Just the legs are really far apart, so it'd be really awkward, but... Jesus.
Yeah, wow, no, he's done really, really well. Holy shit. Unless the wires are just so thin and maybe we're not seeing them.
Maybe. But... Jesus. That's kind of awesome.
Ooh.
Ow.
Yeah, no, wow, that is incredible articulation for a practical effect like this.
he like electrocuting him?
I don't know. They're like a pressure point. Princess Mamba. Or I think he might be like pulling on his wires or something. I don't know. This shot right here. Let's just take this everything we're looking at in for a moment, shall we?
Right? Jesus.
You know, I like how they work the matte painting into it's a good composite. Again, back then that's how they did. They used to do these shots. They would have to do composite shots, and it's a work of art to get them just right. Like,
Yeah.
again, I know now these all be digital shots, and again, I've never been Mr. CGI is the devil. CGI is an incredible tool, and it's just the way these kinds of movies are made nowadays. But
By the way, shout out to this chicken for being the most like chill chicken ever.
yeah, Chicken's Union. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, I mean, prior to that, you had to get a lot more inventive with like how you were going to do things. You would have to combine effects, because it wasn't just one way to do everything.
Or you see the little dust trail on the ground.
Yeah,
Or I guess yeah, you know what I mean.
yeah. No, again, I like that a lot of this are physical. Wow, yeah. Speaking of physical sets, holy shit. I mean, there's matte painting work, but I like how they seems like they built as much of it as they could.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at this place.
It's a cool door.
That is a very cool door. We should make it our bathroom door.
Well, it's see-through, so probably not, but...
This whole room could just be our bathroom.
I don't want to see myself poop from every angle. No one wants that.
Damn, look at that dress.
I know, that outfit's awesome.
Again,
She looks like a fucking Final Fantasy character.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. This feels more like high fantasy, like event. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, look at that costuming on that.
I guess I'll put down my chicken for you.
I love that 80s feathered hair. Look at it.
I know, right? God, she's gorgeous. Is that creepy to say?
No. Again, like, wow, like, how does this movie not get more attention?
Yeah, it's such a cool outfit. Oh God, is that the... What? What? What the fuck? I hate it. Oh God.
Listen, some people collect stamps.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. Oh no.
Kids movie, Walt Disney.
Jesus. Alright. Sure. I guess that's what she meant. She kind of switch heads here. So, yeah.
So right now, she would probably be a much shorter actor inside,
Or they just composite her.
unless they did like a blue... Oh no, they probably did like a blue screen head.
Mm-hmm.
But see, this is the kind of stuff I like when you go to like a fantasy world where it's filled with like just weird, quirky shit. And it's not even calling it attention to itself. Like this whole scene is not about the fact that this woman can swap out a head. This is just something she does. You know what I mean? Like we're here to talk with her for get information, and this is just something she happens to be doing as part of her routine. And again, I think that's what really makes a fantasy world feel like a real place, because it's the things that we would normally kind of stop and gawk at, for them are kind of normal. And when it's treated as such, you buy into the
Jesus.
world. Oh shit. Oh damn.
Man, don't ever piss off a chicken, guys. They can be
Ow.
mean. Oh no! Well, shit.
Well, she's really understanding.
I know, right? All things considered.
This almost looks like something Guillermo del Toro would direct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck you too. Seriously, she's probably like, does everyone in Oz just suck now?
More chairs, you know. It's fine.
Seriously, this actual thunder we have out here
I know.
is really adding to this movie.
Right?
Like, I keep thinking it's in the movie, and then I realize no, it's like outside. Oh, look at that shot. That is
Jesus.
gorgeous. See, I like how it's dark. See, that's the thing. You can have beauty in dark imagery, and again, that's why I like that's why I like Gothic things, Gothic style architecture. To me, Gothic is an approach to stylistic aesthetic. You know what I mean? It's not just black. It's there's beauty in it. There's the architecture, this design is all very dark. It's very Gothic. It's very macabre, but it's beautiful at the same time. It's not ugly. It's a different kind of beauty.
Oh God.
And I just love this style, this art style. It's something I've come to appreciate more as I got older. Mm-hmm. And again, you see guys like
Oh God.
Guillermo
the
del Toro,
scarecrow is
especially,
so
like
scary.
keep this going. So I don't know. Look at the lion.
The lion's kind of derpy but cute.
The lion looks like one of our cats.
Oh. Oh no. What? Oh no. Why?
Not to be confused, the Pumpkinhead that came later on, 1989, written directed by Stan Winston.
Or Jack the Pumpkin King from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes. This time he's an actual Pumpkinhead. But you see, I like how the visuals, you see, like we always joke, like, oh, this is like nightmare fuel. And if you just look at the pictures alone, like it's just still images, you're like, God, this movie looks terrifying. But again, I like that in a kind of more macabre world that which we in our world would be considered frightening for them is normal. So I like that. Okay, he looks in such a way where we would deem him as scary, but listen to how he talks. Like, so everything that we're seeing in this, to them, this is normal. This is not scary in this world. This is just the standard. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I like how these characters are. He's not being scary. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, it's juxtaposing itself from like the quote unquote normal world, where, you know, that which we deem as frightening is normal here, and probably what we would deem as normal in our world would be considered odd and strange here. Which is why I would, you know, love to live in this kind of world.
Original head. What the fuck did I just see with my eyes?
Oh, I love this movie.
Was that a weird green moose?
It's, I don't know, God, but again, I keep thinking about the articulation is done so well.
I know. I'm like, is that a full-on puppet again, or is that
it must be.
dude in a suit? Like,
It must be.
I mean, some of it obviously, like that's probably like a hand, but see, it looks like a dude in a suit, but when they had it before, his neck, you could tell it wasn't. Yeah, now it's definitely a dude. Because they had his neck, like, taller and skinny before.
Yeah, no, this film, from what I've been understanding, is like it didn't do very well at the box office, but it's become one of those things where it's become a cult hit. But
Creepy.
But again, I think one of the reasons why maybe it didn't do as well too, because again, it's a Wizard of Oz movie that does not resemble the Wizard of Oz movie, and it's one of those situations where it's a situation where the film overshadowing the book. I mean, Jaws overshadowed the book. A lot of people don't even know it's based on a book. Jurassic Park overshadows the book. There's a lot of Die Hard is based on a book. Rambo, based on a book. These are, situations where it's now like these stories are the movies first and foremost, book second, and I kind of feel like the Wizard of Oz, unfortunately, has become that where it's people think of the movie. So when you see something like this, that is Return to Oz, but it bears little to no resemblance to what people now.
I already like it way better.
Oh, I do too, but we like this kind of aesthetic more. So for us,
it's creepy but awesome.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So for me, this is right up my alley. But
oh god, does she sleep headless?
I mean,
are we gonna see her nub? Oh no! What is this head? It's terrifying. A comp? Dude, the balls she must have.
I know.
Just saying. That'd be terrifying.
Okay, so we're doing a little reading on this film, and a lot of what the Wizard of Oz is now public domain, but a lot of the visuals that people are there come synonymous with it are owned, I believe, by MGM, who created the original film. So this film is pretty much all borrowing from all the stuff that's not from the MGM film, but apparently, I remember earlier when I said too, like, wow, the ruby slippers are like the only thing that they're kind of sticking with the film, and apparently Disney had to pay a large fee to include the ruby slippers because technically that's not public domain.
Yeah.
That was something that was created by the original studio. But it's one of those things where I feel it seems like even they were like, yeah, we have to have the ruby slippers. Like it's just become so famous and iconic that it's like even if it's not part of the original books, you kind of have to have them in. So yeah, apparently they paid a lot of money to have the ruby slippers in the movie, and that was the only thing they pulled from the original film.
Which again is just ironic. So they only did that just because the color pop, right?
Yeah, they wanted to make it
they
more.
were silver or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which works fine in black and white.
Yeah.
But because they made such an emphasis on the film being in color when she got to Oz, they wanted again, so it was very striking on camera.
Is her original head gonna be like super ugly, or it's gonna be the most pretty? I don't even know.
This kind of stuff here, the artwork. What was that? It was like an 18th century like illustrator. You know what I'm talking about? He did a lot of fantasy illustration.
Arthur Rackham?
Yeah. This stuff feels like that. The style, like you look at her
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's kind of modeled after the same time period.
Well, no,
but yeah.
I agree, but again, a lot of this feels like his
Yikes.
artwork come to life.
Oh God! So she's headless. I had a feeling.
Yeah, no, if you look at like a lot of the way he draws like his environments, it feels like a lot like this. Yeah, I like this so much better than the original. But see, I feel a film like this might be received better today.
That's true. That happens to me a lot. My brain runs down.
Your brain runs down. Yeah, that usually happens to me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Kill anything that comes through that door.
Oh God.
I just love how they're just Frankensteining something to life
I
here.
know. Jesus. Oh God.
I love it. This is so insane. This is great. A chicken.
Oh God. I mean, it's really fucking cool, but also really bizarre.
But quick, we need to like put a bunch of crap together and create artificial life.
Jesus.
I love it.
They need to make a amusement park ride that you ride this. There it is.
There it is.
A sofa moose head leaf winged thing.
A lot of the effects in here remind me a little bit too of like the Neverending Story.
Yeah. I was thinking that too.
Again, it has that. Again, this is quintessential 80s fantasy, and I love it because that was my favorite decade in terms of like fantasy filmmaking. It has such a style to it that
Was that the girl with the badass dress at the shop place?
From the
Yeah.
I believe so, yes.
It looked like her, but I couldn't tell.
I think it's supposed to be again like the Wicked Witch where
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because AKA he got shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Again, it's so god awfully macabre. This is great. Never would they make this a kids movie.
I know.
If they might make this movie today, but it would not be a kids movie.
No, and it wouldn't be made this way.
No, Dorothy would be older because they would try to market this to like teens and adults. They would not be like making this like a quote unquote kids movie. I mean, he's taking being a bastardization of life pretty well.
I know.
Yeah, no, from what I understand, like, this film had a substantial budget for its day. I think it cost
Clearly.
I think it cost like $28 million to make, they said, which
Jesus.
by today's standard, that's chump change.
Yeah, but for back then.
Yeah. But that's like, yeah, in 1985, this would have been like,
Oh, God.
it's nice miniature work right here. I just want to sure get angry and just like throw that thing down and pull out like a 7-string guitar and just start shredding on it. That effect is so cool.
Wasn't that guy the lead doctor, too? Or not the
Yeah,
lead,
yeah,
but he was
he
the
was
one
the-
that strapped her down.
Yeah. Again, I love these kind of worlds that feel very fleshed out, very realized. Like, again, it just doesn't just feel like all this is just happening just now because, because we need a movie. This feels like a world that is tangible and exists. And again, that's, to me, the benefit of making high fantasy not super clean and bright. It's because it feels more, again, like this is a real place.
Does that mean they're all gonna die and turn to dust or whatever? Oh, God! Yikes. Yep. It's terrifying. So now if they crash...
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I know.
No. Jesus.
I wonder how much fun this was to shoot.
Oh, did his arm... Oh, nope. Did he lose his head?
Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh, that's sad. Jesus Christ.
No, I love this. This almost feels like an RPG
Yeah.
or like a D&D campaign.
Oh, shit. Oh, no! Jesus Christ.
It's like, it's so disturbing, but it's hilarious. I love how they're playing it up for laughs too. Like,
I know. Acceptance. Are they technically in the desert still?
oh, I think it's like
Oh,
snow.
it looks like snow, yeah. Jesus. Matte painting.
I know. Oh, that's so beautiful, though. Look at that. Yeah, I like how Oz here feels like a much more fleshed out world.
Yeah.
Like, I'm legitimately, like, interested and curious about this world and learning more about it. Sounds like the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost interesting because it's almost like he is Oz itself. Like, he can move about, like, the geology of this world.
Mm-hmm. Clearly an army. Jesus.
They really are hung up on that damn chicken.
I wonder if the Gnome King is actually still going to be the Scarecrow. Why else would they care about the chicken then?
I don't know. Again, it's weird. I think because this one is very, very cult in terms of, like, you know, its popularity. Because again, it's like I grew up watching Neverending Story. I grew up watching, you know, The Dark Crystal. Like, so it's just interesting that again this one, like Lady Hawk, skipped me over. Like I never even heard of this film till, you know, years later when I was an adult and they were talking about it. And I was like, wait, what? What is this? When did this come out?
Yeah. Jesus.
Damn, get it, girl. I love the intensity in her face. Again, I've always loved her as an actress, but even at this age, she's really able to convey like that sense of, like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
severity.
She's got a very expressive face.
Yeah. Well, she feels like she legitimately cares about what's going on. She doesn't just feel like, oh, here's kid actor, you know, they just hired from
Yeah.
central casting just to be an adorable face, you know what I mean? And have things just happen to her. She feels like she's being very
Whoa.
proactive. So this is the Pink Floyd
The
portion.
acid trip.
This looks so good, though. Like, this is done and integrated so well.
He is fucking terrifying.
No,
Because she was gonna.
I really like that effect, though. The idea of he's not just a central figure; like he can move around. Like I think that really adds to it. Yeah, I can't tell. Is that cell animation or is that stop motion?
I'm pretty sure it's stop motion.
They look like such
I know.
big, strong hands. I also like him as a villain because he's more three dimensional. He's not just a maniacal villain. He's
Jesus.
God. These guys.
I know.
See, I love it when you have a character like any kind of villain where you're basically kind of in their lair, and it almost kind of it has this feeling of like a cat and mouse. Like they're the mice and they're at this individual's mercy, basically. But he's having fun with them to some degree. Like there is a charisma to him.
Yeah.
It's almost like Smaug a little bit too, where when he was he was kind of messing with him, like he's you can just kill him
Doesn't
outright.
take him seriously at first.
Yeah, well, for him, this he finds them amusing. For him, this is just I'm gonna have some fun with this to pass the time.
Jesus. Oh, funny.
He's adorable. I love him. Again, it's his voice that really makes him a character. It really sells his personality. Yeah, this is stop motion. I don't know what that is, but I want it.
Little cakey thing.
Yeah, no, because these effect shots are consistent, and they're
Yeah.
like there's a lot of so you can tell this film had a high budget. Like,
What the fuck?
it's incredible because again this film, I hate to say it, but I think here's the effects, they're more impressive than even like the Neverending Story. Like it's
Yeah.
I mean, and that's not me speaking ill of the Never-Ending Story either. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying this looks like.
Well, this came out after, obviously, too.
No, this came out.
85?
Did we do the Never-Ending Story already?
Yeah, didn't we?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
did.
I was
Sorry.
gonna say, I'm pretty sure we did.
Oh, I'm thinking of Labyrinth came after.
Oh, yeah, no, it did.
But still, I mean, it wasn't a big, leap. But again, or not. Maybe I would not like to visit your fiery furnace, sir. Yeah, no, I like how they're doing like the hero's trial here. But again, it really does feel more like a test.
Jesus. Oh my god.
Jeez, yeah. No, this movie looks really like. Again, I keep saying, but like no, this film looks just it's gorgeous. I'm studying like everything in the background. I'm like trying to take in like every shot because again, it just looks so gorgeous. Again, it's strange because she's so young, yet she has a very kind of maternal presence.
Yeah.
Like it feel
Somebody had to. Her fucking aunt sure didn't.
well, yeah, but it really does feel like she is taking care of them.
Yeah.
She's very much, and she has that natural kind of inclination. Yeah, and the guy there, that's the main doctor. Yeah, that's just got to be a person in there.
Probably.
I'm looking for wires. I'm really trying to see, but like I'm not seeing them. Yeah, no, that's the doctor that was treating her for sure. Now that he's a physical actor in a suit, even though that makeup is really good though. Like he's able to emote really well through it too. Again, that's one of the
Well,
issues.
they kind of started it earlier by showing him having like the human eyes, and then they kind of
Yeah, it's like a gradual transformation.
yeah. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I like how they're kind of portraying them less now, like as a wonder, and you realize, yeah, what made them so important is actually they're essentially a weapon, basically.
Yeah.
Like in the wrong, wielded by the wrong person. Yeah, they're kind of an instrument of destruction, really. But yeah, no, like it's interesting because he's able to emote really well with that makeup, and sometimes when you do like really heavy makeup on actors or actresses, aesthetically from like kind of a still shot, it looks very impressive. It's very detailed, but a lot of times the actor underneath can't really express themselves. It's more like just a mask they're wearing. But you can really, I mean, some of the expressiveness on his face is built in with the makeup, but it kind of accents his natural facial movement. Like you can really see that he's acting through this makeup, and you can kind of get a sense of his personality.
Yeah.
It doesn't just feel like something just slapped over his face.
No, it's done really well.
Yeah,
Even the clothing.
you don't lose a sense of who's underneath. You really feel like, okay, this is a person. It's like the greatest fun house ever. Yeah, I like how charismatic he feels like a real villain. Again, I like how evil is someone who's evil. They do things in such a way that it is very almost casual by nature. Like I feel like that's just how evil is. That you could someone could do something that you deem so wrong, and they do so nonchalantly. I mean, if someone's making a big to do out of it, it could easily be taken as they are trying to even convince themselves or try to justify to themselves. But when you see someone who's so comfortable with the decisions they're making, comfortable in their own skin, and comfortable with the actions they're taking, you feel, okay, that's a villain, because they'll sleep soundly at night despite what they do, because to them what they do, it doesn't affect them the way it would affect other people. And that's what distinguishes like a villain from just I guess the good guy, really.
Yeah.
And now we're at Pier 1 Imports. Seriously, this looks like Pier 1. Like,
I know. What does that mean?
Well, it's very selfless of him. I like how he's like a knight. I like that. He's like a very chivalrous character.
Yeah.
I think if this was Dungeons and Dragons, who would he be? He'd be the paladin.
Probably.
There's definitely like a sweetness to this movie. Again, I'm not terribly surprised that it kind of didn't do so well at the box office, but I'm also not surprised that it's become like a cult hit.
Yeah.
Because again, it has. If you look at films that really become like cult classics, a lot of what does it is a character. The characters are very endearing, and they kind of endear themselves to the audience. So trying, did he disappear? Did he
I don't know.
turn into something?
I don't really. I like how her voice is so intense.
I know. I love how insane she is. I'm feeling that lamp. I don't know if it's just me, but
Makes me think of used to go out to eat at Applebee's. And they
yeah,
had the lights, like stained glass lights. Yeah, so it makes me think of.
it's like a lot of places like back in the day had like those kinds of.
I guess it'd be stained glass.
I mean, Wow.
She's like, fuck you, man.
I know, like, you son of a bitch. Damn. Wow.
Jesus. Looks like she's got arrows in her back. I think she's got to guess correctly. Is that what it is? 'Cause
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, because they all tried before and they all failed, so now she's the only one. I like his crown. Yeah, see, he's got this air of like superiority. So for him, he doesn't have a sense of urgency. He doesn't have a sense of like need because he has, you know what I mean? Because for him, it's like, oh, I have this under control.
Yeah.
So there's an arrogance to him, and characters like this, or rather villains like this is always the kind of their Achilles heel. It is their arrogance. It is their this notion that they cannot be thwarted in any way. I wonder if it's supposed to be like a piece of the Emerald City. Oh wow, hey. I'm gonna start saying that when I get angry. Fumes and fury! And now we're becoming a special effect again.
Right. Polymorphs.
Oh, let's again with polymorph. That would be a term that was used outside of D&D.
I would assume.
Then again, something tells me the people who there are people who
Yeah.
worked on this film who were probably not unfamiliar with Dungeons and Dragons.
Whoa.
Oh, I just love how he does that effect.
It's a real good effect.
Yeah, it really is. I hope they turn him to something more practical later on.
I know.
For his sake.
Jesus. His face is so scary.
I know. But it's fitting in this world.
Yeah.
Is it weird that his face is scarier than Jack's?
No, it definitely is. Oh God.
I think it's the eyes.
Yeah, it's the eyes for sure.
Again, the face is very expressive.
Oh God.
Oh wow. Okay, so now we're at the boss fight. All right, now we can do a little contrast and compare.
Can't they just untie him from the sofa?
Well, that's the thing. Is his whole
There we
body
go.
alive, or is it just his head? Like,
I mean, it was all. So there goes his body.
yeah, this film is a lot darker. Oh, okay, they saved his head. Okay. That's cool.
Jesus.
Yeah, I love how he can manifest himself around. So basically, any
Yeah.
kind of anywhere there's like geology, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this movie's awesome. I'm really bummed that I have not seen this movie before.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
it is,
good.
it is so up our alley. Again, it's just, it's kind of interesting though, because just when you think you've seen it all from like this decade, it's like you get pleasantly surprised. Look at his face, how it's contorting and getting wider.
Yeah.
Look at that, Jesus Christ! Oh, this looks so cool. Like, oh my.
Does he not like eggs? Is that his weakness?
Yeah, again, because I've never seen this movie, I have no idea why chickens are so feared.
What the fuck? Why is an egg poison?
I mean, is he vegan?
Yeah.
I mean, he is eating
mean-
a pumpkin. Oh, that's so weird. Like it's like he's rotting, but it's like
Yeah.
stone.
Ugh.
Sarah Connor, eat your heart out. Like, just imagine this is like that scene in Indiana Jones where the guy's
Yeah.
face melts off. Like, if this was a flesh and blood person, that's what that would have looked like.
Yeah.
So again, it's more or less like the imagery of what you're seeing is like Jesus Christ. God, I love this movie. Homegirl got her kicks. Yeah, so this is what cost the movie a lot of money. That was damn
It's
shit.
funny though, they kept showing the lion and like Tin Man there, but we really didn't see him in the movie much.
Well, yeah, I was reading. Yeah, this is more or less about kind of her new friends. Like,
Yeah. But obviously on the cover.
well, if you look at the original cover of this film, it's got these guys on it. The newer one, yeah, they're trying to lean into the classic iconography,
Yeah.
basically. But yeah. That's really pretty. I like how it's also like more of a city too. It's like more spread out. It's not just like a big tower.
Yeah.
Just the way he says it. I'm gonna start saying that tomorrow all day. My thinking must have completely run down. Yeah, no, I like this Emerald City a lot better.
Yeah.
The Viva Las Vegas Emerald City.
I like how she's just in the cage still. Why are the Wheelers there?
I get the sense they kind of fall in line with whoever's in charge. Like, if they know what's good for them kind of deal.
I like how technically she is the one that saved everyone.
So is the chicken like their super weapon? Like, are chickens like the nukes of this world, where it's like whoever has more chickens is like...
Right.
Everyone gets chickens. It's like mutually assured destruction. So no one ever like
Jesus.
lets their chickens out. I don't know. Again, Scarecrow, he's creepy looking, but again, the movement is really impressive. Like, I would almost show this film to people as like almost like a tech demo. If you were just for fun, you were going to make a movie that's all practical effects, no digital work.
Yeah.
And okay, how would we achieve a lot of? Because again, they're not going the easy route where a lot of this stuff they can make it way more anthropomorphic. I mean, they're really going against a lot of human anatomy with some of these characters, and it's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that lion is a lion, you know. Just stay this time. You can't, so stay here.
The other girl that we saw in the beginning.
Yeah. So that's like the White Witch in this one?
No, I think that's supposed to... when her shoes glowed, she said, I wish I could be in both places at once. So I think that's supposed to be like a... I don't even know, like, alternate self of her that can stay. Or something.
I don't know.
I don't know. Unless that is supposed to be... Oh. So she's a good witch.
Why do you want to go back?
I know.
Yeah, wish me back to the psych ward where they're gonna give me like shock therapy.
I'm a fucking hero here.
Yeah, even she's saying it. So that was a kid, my thing. When you would go to these magical worlds, how they would always have to come back, you know? Like he's purring.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've always wanted to, again, well, when I wrote my books, it's always that when you go to like this fantastical world, like the character stays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess she has family and well, yeah, but her family put her in a psych ward though.
Yeah.
I can understand the other film, her reasoning for wanting to stay or go back. But after that, I'm like, no, I want to stay with these guys.
Right?
Kind of burn some bridges on that last one, guys. She has really green eyes.
I know.
Those are her real eyes, too, in that context. I've noticed that
Yeah.
in all her roles, she's got these very striking eyes. Toto. Interesting how he wasn't involved with this one.
I know.
Oh, get your gut poppers.
Don't you ever fucking send me off again.
I know, right?
Why are you so happy? You shipped me off.
I know, that's my only thing. I'm like,
She's got a sad, bleak real life.
Again, I love the overlap. I like
Yeah.
the visual cues. Yeah, I'd still take the Emerald City.
Yeah.
Here's my thing: if Ozma can like check in on her, can't then that just mean you just open up a portal whenever you want, and I can just go
think.
back and forth and just come hang out? Or since my family are like poor farmers, can we just come live in Oz?
Right?
Like, if she loves her family that much, I'm like, okay, let's just go to Oz. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, girl.
That's so sad. We don't want you going back to the psych ward now.
Like, yeah. It's kind of sweet, though. I like how now this one, it feels like she has more of a connection to Oz. Like, Oz is now kind of always a part of her. And I kind of get the sense that if she wanted to, she could always go back. But I kind of playing into the maternal instinct, I think that it feels like she has in this film. Like, I feel she goes back because she doesn't want to abandon her parents. She doesn't want to do that to them. So she's kind of come back and she's kind of almost like looking after them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because this is like the late 1800s, they'll probably be dead of like some kind of consumption or whatever in 2 years, and then she can just go back.
Jesus.
I'm just saying. But yeah, I kind of feel like now that is kind of she's kind of looking after them, and that's kind of the vibe I get, because again, this iteration of Dorothy again is very maternal. Mm-hmm. So I like that. I would have stayed in Oz, but
Yeah.
no, that was a really good movie.
Yeah, it was.
Again, I am just so frustrated that I had not seen that movie when I was growing up. Because again, growing up, I would have loved this movie. But again, it's good to know that even after all these years, we're still discovering, these little gems from that wonderful decade that was
Yeah.
the 80s. But anyway, that is going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace!
Peace.